What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 7 in my 7th annual 31 Days of Horror. This is a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, or should I say at least 31 horror films in 31 days. We can do more. This year we're doing a challenge along with it where we have criteria and topics that we must hit on as we go watch and review films. So today's film is actually going to knock off another 2 criteria. We have a film from the 1990s, as well as the one film of the 2 that we need either in the Hall of Fame or Hall of Pain. So briefly, if you don't know what those are, the Hall of Fame is a place where we induct films that are really good on the 22 shots of movies.com, via the podcast. It needs to have a combined rating of 28 points or higher out of a 10 scale system between 3 hosts. And the Hall of Pain is where we put the bad films, and those ones need to have a 9.5 or under combined rating between 3 hosts. So that's the Hall of Pain and Hall of Fame. And one film that actually is in the Hall of Fame, which I totally forgot about. I just happened to watch these films because I really like them. But turns out it actually hits some criteria. I wasn't even going to review these at first, but we have The Blair Witch Project from the year 1999, and we have The Blair Witch Project 2, aka Book of Shadows, The Blair Witch Project 2, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah, this is the one that hits the criteria. This is just a bonus review because I just happened to watch them both. But The Blair Witch Project is a film that came out in the year 1999, and it follows a group of filmmakers, 3 specifically, who want to go into the woods of Burkittsville, Maryland, and document the history of the Blair Witch and see if it is real or not. When they go out, they get lost, and they basically are terrorized by either their imaginations or the Blair Witch, and you have to watch and find out what happens. I'm not going to get into the crazy marketing behind this film because that is a video in itself. We've talked about it before. It's absolutely incredible, but I love The Blair Witch Project. It is one of my all-time favorite films, potentially top 10 of all time. To me, it's one of the scariest movies ever made, and watching it this time, I had recently just watched it in the past 2 years, and normally when I watch a movie that is very scary, in close proximity for a second time, it doesn't have quite as big of an effect. So I like to wait a while to watch The Blair Witch Project, but it's perfect for this time of year, so I wanted to watch it. And honestly, yeah, it didn't have quite the punch that it had the last time I watched it, but that happens. I've watched it other times where it didn't have as much of a punch as the previous time, and so on and so on. But man, dude, this movie to me is just so amazing. I love the concept of it. It's a found footage film. It follows those 3 filmmakers. And the beginning, what I love about it is the interviews. So it's more than just the Blair Witch. It's also about Rustin Parr and Coffin Rock and all these other things that surround this mythology of this witch. Super cool. I love the interviews of the townsfolk. It feels so natural. I don't feel any bit of acting while watching this film between any of the characters, between any of the local townspeople. It feels so natural to me, and it has a lot to do with the filmmaking behind it. This is a movie that you either love or you don't. There's there's nobody who really can say that they're it's good but not great. I don't know. I don't ever see people. I think you either get it or you don't. It's something that appeals to you or it doesn't. Man, it is one of my favorite horror movies ever. I love the vibes. One of the greatest endings ever. It's really, really good, and it should be no surprise that I give it a 10 out of 10. And continuing along with the bonus review, because I did watch this one as well, and that is Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 from the year 2000. This is a movie that when it was announced, and I remember seeing the trailer, it was like a regular movie, but they had a little bit of like POV stuff in it. And when it came out, some people had seen it and they said it was awful. I remember being, 9 years old or something, being a huge fan of the original, and people said this one was really bad, so I skipped it for a few years, and then it was on one of the pay channels one day in the afternoon, and me and my pap just sat down and watched it. I sat on the floor and watched it, and man, I was in love with it. I just loved the movie. I was like, this is so cool. It basically follows a group of people, fans, if you will, of the Blair Witch. One of them is interested in showing the true side of the Wiccan religion. One of them thought the movie was cool. One of them lives in the area and he's capitalizing on the phenomenon that is the Blair Witch. And then the other two are writing a paper or a thesis on the Blair Witch. So you have all these people, they go out to the Black Hills, they party a little bit, wake up, everything's weird, they don't remember anything from the night before. They go back to the one character's house who's still sort of in the Black Hills or Black Woods, whatever it's called, and weird stuff begins to happen there. This film does not get the credit it deserves. It is a very, very, very smart film, and the worst aspects of it is stuff that Lionsgate forced, or Artisan forced the director to put in, stuff that, like flashback scenes of the hospital and extra gore sequences that kind of just take away from the film. But the actual story to this film is very smart. Basically, like they say in the film a few times, video doesn't lie or something like that. And it's very, I forget the actual quote, but film lies, video doesn't lie. That's what it is. So film, being the movie, is the lies. That's the stuff that you see that isn't the truth. But when they have the video cameras, that's the true stuff that's going on. That's why you see the perspectives of what actually happened through the night. The film shows it one way, the video shows it another way. It's super smart. Like that's really creative and clever. A lot of people miss that. There's a lot of just cool stuff, and honestly, I love the vibes. It has like a fun soundtrack. The characters are all interesting and likable, and I love this sort of meta aspect of the film was a film. And these are the people reacting to said film. It opens up with a great, news reel of all these different outlets reporting on the phenomena that was the Blair Witch Project, which is really cool to me. This is it's just a fun movie to me. I love the Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. I hate the title. But yeah, I mean, I think I would give it honestly an 8.5. I've liked it more and more every time I watch it, and it's actually a go-to for me. I love the Blair Witch 2. So that is day number 7, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the bonus review of Blair Witch 2 as well as the regular review. See you guys tomorrow with another one. Peace.